If you told me last year I would be making a video about Magmar and Electabuzz top cutting tournaments in 2023, I would have had a million questions. Yet, here we are. We have Magmar winning the Tommy Tuesday Tour a few days ago, followed up by Electabuzz getting top 8 and top 32 in the Himi Turner tournament last night. And all because someone at Game Freak said, let's give them follow me back? Hello everyone, Sableye here and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be going over how to use Magmar and Electabuzz in the VGC metagame, so let's jump right into it. As I mentioned in the intro, Follow Me is the main reason these two pieces are back. This is the main reason these two pieces are here, and probably one of the only reasons in my opinion. Now, both of these Pokemon used to get Follow Me back, I believe it was an event in XD or one of those old school games like that. But then obviously you couldn't transfer that up with you. So having Follow Me make a return for both of these Pokemon is incredible. We're going to start with Magmar because Follow Me in Flame Body is incredibly strong, right? You go Follow Me and you just redirect. Obviously you don't have the bulkiest set, right? But you slap Eviolite on this, right? And all of a sudden, these defenses are looking very respectable. Yeah, your HP is a little low, but it's very fixable. And, you know, you get these doubled, right? So you can probably get 100. So you can easily have 150 in both defenses, and probably a lot more than that based on once you add natures and all that, right? So you get a good chunk of defenses. You can live hits. Like last night, Electabuzz just decided to live a Dragon Energy from a Regidrago, right? Like it just doesn't happen. You don't expect it to live hits. And then all of a sudden, with the Eviolite, these pieces are tanking hits, right? You get cool moves, you get Follow Me. Magmar doesn't get any sort of speed control, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we'll start with Magmar first. We got Follow Me. I like Protect on my Follow Me user, just because a lot of the times people will try to bully down to Follow Me user. It's similar to that Clefairy, right? They'd go Follow Me. Oh, I need to make sure Clefairy goes off the field, but I can't safely double it because of the fact that they'd have Protect, so I have to make sure I have to call it when they're not going to Protect, right? So it just gives that extra element of mind game, extra element of just keeping my piece alive so that I can Protect, maybe lose a piece, or bring in a piece that needs to have Follow Me beside it, and I can capitalize off of there, right? So you get Follow Me, Protect. Those are the two big options for this. Obviously, like I said, we got the defenses. Flame Body is incredible, just a 30% chance to burn if they touch me, which I don't see why I wouldn't want that, right? Magmar has a lot of options, though, right? Magmar doesn't have that speed control. So it has the options, right? I believe you get like Heat Wave, which you do. Helping Hand is another really cool option. Knock Off to get rid of items from your opponent. I believe the one that won on Tuesday was Mach Punch. We'll get into that in a bit. But basically what I'm saying is here, you get a lot of options just to do things. What I really do like though is Will-O-Wisp. I think Will-O-Wisp is something that needs to be mentioned. Now I don't think it's, oh my goodness, Will-O-Wisp needs to be on these teams. But I think it's a very cool concept with the Magmar, because it's like, okay, you're going to try to avoid me because of Flame Body, but now you have to hit me anyways because I have Will-O-Wisp. So either way, there's a very good chance you are going to get burned. And I think that's really strong in a format that is primarily physical, right? Obviously, we're leaning away from that a little bit with the introduction of the Raging Bolts. And you know, and all of a sudden Intimidate on Incineroar is coming back, so people are looking for those special attackers. But I think Will-O-Wisp is still incredibly strong. And then you also get stuff like Taunt, and I think Taunt is massive on these Pokemon because this just allows you to sit in front of a Moongus pretty well. Now, you can go Vital Spirit, which is actually what I did in the tournament last night with my Electabuzz. However, we'll get into that at the time. But you can go Vital Spirit so you don't get Spored, Follow Me the Spore into you. Or you can just stick with what is obviously the better ability on Magmar's case, which is Flame Body, and you know, you're going to burn them, and then you can just taunt the Amoonguss. You still don't care about Spore, you're just taunting the Amoonguss, right? So something like this is probably a pretty solid set. You probably want to have an attacking move, though, so you probably pick Will-O-Wisp or Taunt, and then run Heat Wave, which is where set 1 comes in. And once again, guys, as I go into these sets, they are all just calced for like very basic things, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on. Feel free to play around with the sets at will. But if you're looking to just slap something in as a starting point, this is exactly what we're for. Anyways, we're going to start with Magmar Heat Wave. I still like Ghost. I really enjoy Ghost. This is my main set that I would go with, because Ghost just makes them think twice. Am I terraing a Magmar? 9 times out of 10? No. Right? I really shouldn't be terraing this piece. However, there's scenarios where, yeah, tearing the piece just allows me to make it through a turn, get me another turn of follow me. It allows me to stop a fake out so that I can redirect, so that I can still get the redirection that I need. There is tons of options where Terra Ghost comes in play, and because of that, it also just has that mind game of, oh, I can't really fake out Magmar because, you know, I'm Terra Ghost. They can't pick me off with like an E-speed. It's just really, really cool on a utility piece. So I would recommend Terra Ghost on this piece. I don't really see anything other than that. Anyways, then you got Heat Wave. I want damage. I wanted an attacking move. I don't think you need anything other than that. An attacking move felt good. All I needed was one, right? So I felt Heat Wave was an option. Like I said, this can easily be any fire move you want. Heat Wave, Flamethrower, Overheat if you're just looking to toast something, right? Like I said, I think Taunt and Follow Me are both staples on this piece, especially if you're not running Vital Spirit. You have to shut down Amoonguss and you have to redirect things. So these three are staples, right? Then you can arguably drop Protect for something like that Will-O-Wisp, but I am very adamant having Protect on my Follow Me pieces is incredibly, incredibly strong. So I'll probably keep Protect on it, but once again, completely interchangeable. And the moveset, guys, it's not that, like the EV spread, it's not that crazy. You know, just max HP to fix the defense, to fix the bad HP stat. Defense, I put it to the bump. I believe that's the bump. It's not the bump. But anyways, I put it up to 196. That's going to allow you to live Jolly Surging Strikes from Scarf Jolly Urshifu, which is, I'm going to say that's a pretty good deal. Like, my fire type should not be living Surging Strikes at all. So now we're just living that. If they do go to like the Mystic Water set, you're dying. But if you can get the burn on one of the first few strikes, you just potentially live that attack as well, which is really, really incredible, right? Maybe you go Terra Ghost. Surging Strikes doesn't really want to hit into you anymore, right? And then I just put the rest into special defense, guys. Like I said, the spread was very makeshift. There wasn't a lot going on here. You also have an interesting speed stat, probably not necessary to talk about on the Magmar. I think it's more relevant on the Electabuzz, so we'll look into that later. But that's where I would go with Magmar. Now, the set that won Tommy's Tuesday tour was actually Flare Blitz, Mach Punch, Follow Me, and Taunt. So going with the Flare Blitz, like I said, you can do realistically whatever you want with the fire move, right? So 95, 100. I still like the special fire move, personally myself, just because you actually don't have to worry about being intimidated or anything like that. But hey, you know what? You have the stat to say it's very similar, so it's probably fine. And then they actually went Mach Punch, and I'm presuming this Mach Punch is just to pick off things that may survive on Sash, have that extra element of priority, and I think that was really, really cool, right? And then Follow Me, Taunt, like we've already discussed, rocking the Flame Body, rocking that Terra Ghost, as we've gone over already. But Flare Blitz Mach Punch was a really, really cool thing to see from their team, and I think this is where the creativity lies with these Magmars and these Electabuzzes, is you get cool options, right? Like I was talking about knockoff earlier, I think that has definitely a case to be made, but they found what needed to happen for their team, which was a fire move and something to pick off things that just happen to live on one or two. And I think that's a really, really cool niche to test out. Moving on to Electabuzz. Now, Electabuzz, very similar to Magmar. We've got Static, we've got Vital Spirit. Right, absolutely nothing too crazy. The one difference Electabuzz has over Magmar is that excellent form of speed control in Electro Web. It also can outpace Urshifu's and get that Electro Web off first if you really wanted it to. You can also just click Thunderbolt. You can also, you know, just not be weak to the Urshifu. It is an incredibly strong Torn Urshifu answer. Somehow, like I said, 2023. And we have Electabuzz as a Tornadus Urshifu answer. Never would have thought the case, right? But Electro Web, because of that, is exceptional speed control, right? And then you probably go Thunderbolt as well. But you also get the same things as Magmar. You still get the Taunt. You still get Protect, as I was talking about earlier. You still get Knockoff as well if you're looking for that kind of utility, right? You also get Feint if you wanted to pick off Sashes or anything like that to break. Even break through Protect is a very cool option with Electabuzz here. And basically what I'm saying is you get similar coverage, you get cool things to do, and once again, similar to the Magmar, you run that Eviolite, and you just take hits. You know? All you do is simply take hits, and that's what Electabuzz is meant to do, and I really enjoyed playing this piece the other day. I think it was very fun. I think there's a lot of potential for it. Set 1, similar to the Magmar, guys, it's completely interchangeable. I actually went with a Vital Spirit set. I think this was suboptimal. On the team I was using, I liked the concept of having Volt Switch, or in this case, Thunderbolt. I did go Thunderbolt. But Thunderbolt, Electro, Follow Me, Protect. Like I said, I was very adamant on Follow Me, Protect. And with Electroweb, I wanted a move that could actually do damage as well. So I went Thunderbolt. I didn't want to put a taunt on this piece. And because I didn't want to put taunt, and because I was leading this beside King Gambit with black glasses, my concept was that I could safely lead this into Amoonguss and follow me away the Spore while I set up my King Gambit. However, I do think Static plus Taunt is probably the way to go. This is Terra type Ghost as well. Once again, guys, it seemingly is the best Terra type for these pieces because you don't want them going into you, you know? You don't want those fake outs. You want to avoid that. That's exactly what you're looking for on these support pieces. And Electroweb is incredibly, incredibly strong. My moveset once again EV set once again, just max speed on DHP. Defense, I was living Surging Strikes from a Mystic Water Urshifu this time. Obviously, if they were to go Terra Water, I would die, or if they would go Rain Dance plus Mystic Water, I would die. But Rain Dance, no Mystic Water, I would live. Mystic Water, no Rain Dance, I would live. Scarf or no boosting item, and Terra Water, I would also live. This spread felt really, really strong to me. I opted to go Timid because I wanted to actually outpace these Urshifus. Now, I have this one sitting at outpacing. I believe this is Modest Lando I, hits 154. And I believe I outpaced that as well. Obviously, that also outpaces the Urshifus. And basically what I wanted to happen was, if I got out of Tailwind, or if we managed to stay outside of Tailwind, I could outpace the Lando I if it was beside the Urshifu and actually just pick off the Urshifu. Click an Electroweb if they already Terra Poisoned. Electroweb spam, slow things down, get things going with Electabuzz. And the spread felt really, really good. Obviously, I could have had a little bit more special attack in Spadef, right, just to be a little bit more bulky. But I think overall this spread felt really, really good. It did exactly what I wanted to do. It was living things that I wanted it to do. And once again, we're going to go over set 2. And set 2 is actually the one that managed to get top 8 into tour with Static, which, as I mentioned before, feels like the better ability. Static and Flame Body have higher upside. However, for what I was using it, I liked Vital Spirit. But Static, I think, is probably just the better ability in the long run. You go Thunderbolt, Electroweb. They actually went with the same moveset as me. But once again, you can go Taunt here over Protect, but that's completely up to you. And then they went Grass, and I think Grass was kind of their way of getting around the Amoonguss concept, which I think is completely really cool to see. But once again, if you go Taunt, you go Ghost, or you don't go Taunt, you go Grass. I think Grass is actually a really cool Terra type on the Electabuzz, strictly, like I said, for that Amoonguss, because that's where my concern was when I was piloting this last night, you know? And that's why I had that Vital Spirit. But Static plus Grass, or Static plus Taunt, is seemingly the cooler option in my opinion. Seems to be a little bit more consistent, right? Just Taunt is so good. We saw it on Xena's Magmar from the Tommy Tour, right? And basically these pieces are just incredibly strong pieces that you can utilize, and they're niche, right? You're not going to go, I'm going to build a team around Magmar, you know? But all of a sudden you get to the last few slots in your team and you're like, I need a piece that kind of can redirect, can support myself into Torn Ursh. Okay, let me throw maybe an Electabuzz actually does work. Before, these pieces were not viable because without redirection, teams would simply just ignore them. They don't do that much. But having the redirection and forcing people either into a Static or forcing people into a Flame Body, or making sure if they do ignore you, you're going to get support with either Electroweb, Taunt, or Will-O-Wisp or Taunt, you know? Just having the support, forcing people into you when they don't want to hit into you, keeping other pieces alive. Electabuzz and Magmar are incredibly cool pieces that I'm very happy are finally getting their chance into Spotlight with Follow Me back. So we're going to wrap this one up here, guys. I could keep going on and on and on about different sets and different cool options, but basically concept is Follow Me is an incredible piece for both Electabuzz and Magmar. Super happy to see them have those pieces back, have access to them in the VGC metagame, and you are going to see these pieces every now and then in VGC. They are going to be good. But with that, we are going to stop rambling now. Thank you all so much for checking out the video. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And of course, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I will catch you all in a future video.